Hey, what's up? My name's Shamel Jones from ShamelJones.com. You're watching my show Up Next. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing hometown hero and published author, my girl, Miss Shae McCoy. What's up, Shay? Thank you so much for doing this interview. I'm so happy to have you here. It's been a long time coming. Now, my first question is, we have a lot of similar interests. And then we also have a lot of mutual friends. We're from the same city. We even have the same bed frame. So I want to know, why haven't we met yet? This is so crazy. We've been friends on social media for such a long time. I feel like I really know you, but I'm dying to know, why haven't we met?
Hey, so I don't know why we haven't met yet. Like you said, we are around the same people. We do the same things. But I thought you moved away. So, yeah, after that I was like, dang, well, how am I going to be able to hang out with this person and this person's not here? But that's not like a something that would stop me from hanging out with someone. I'm always down to travel. So, yeah, we can always hang out. I can travel to you. You can, whenever you come to Baltimore, you can let me know what's going on, and we can link up then. The last time you were here, I did want to link up, um, but it didn't happen. I don't even know if I expressed that to you, but yeah, it didn't happen.
So you published your book, West Baltimore Ruins. It's a photographic story. I am from West Baltimore, so a lot of the things that you showcase in this story are places I've been, I've seen, I've witnessed, I've experienced. So this book means a lot to me. So tell me about the process, what got you wanting to publish a book, and just the story you wanted to share.
Oh yes, West Baltimore Ruins, my first publication. Well, not my first, but my first book. I'll say that. What inspired that project was just my surroundings, and I didn't intend on it being a book or being a big project or even being anything. I simply used to go out and take photos as I walked to different places in West Baltimore, especially like if I'm going to my grandmother's house or um, anywhere in West Baltimore, and I would just see how things were changing. And like I just remember, like as a young girl, that I used to hear conversations about things to come as far as like housing and the neighborhood, but I will always be like, okay, maybe this is not gonna happen in my lifetime or while I'm still living around here. But I was wrong. I was so wrong. Like um I started West Baltimore Ruins. I started taking the photos for that project in 2018 December. Um, and I was just taking pictures of vacant houses and kind of like documenting on my own, like how my particular neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods in West Baltimore were changing rapidly, like to the point where things were being demolished that you might have seen yesterday. You might have seen the building yesterday, and then you come back tomorrow, it's gone. So I yeah, I started doing that, and then I started posting my images to Instagram. So people would be like, "Yo, like you should make an Instagram, like a separate Instagram for this." So I did. Um, and the name West Baltimore Ruins just came from, I don't know. I thought of what ruins are, what ruins are, and I was like, okay. And I kind of like just put it together, and then that's why I named the Instagram that. So after the documenting everything for over a year, I was just like, I need a better way to archive this information, to archive the pictures, because if we're just putting it on Instagram, any day Instagram can be gone and then all the images are gone. I mean, any day my phone could die or something can happen, whereas though I lose all of that. So I was like, I need something solid that would stick. So I started West Baltimore Ruins and started the process of the book in 2019. 2019, 2020, we were working on it. And then February 2021 is when I released the book. Um, it was so stressful, but I don't regret anything. I don't at all.
I honestly believe if they still have, I haven't lived in Baltimore for about 8 years, but if they still have it, Fox 45, when I was growing up, Fox 45 Morning News had this segment called Hometown Hero where they would showcase, someone from our city who's just been doing amazing, great things with your book, your photography, your art, being on billboards and stuff like that, and just giving back to the community. I truly believe that if you haven't already been on this segment, that you would be on that segment. Do you remember that, Hometown Hero?
Yes, I do remember seeing that in the morning sometimes before going to school and stuff like that. I Although I could be considered a hometown hero and I would love, to be recognized as that, um, I think because my mission and my purpose goes deeper, I kind of shy away from like just titles and being designated as different things because what I do is it's from the heart. It's really from the heart. It's really for generations to come behind me. And I just feel like we can't make complaints about the community and not be in the community doing the work. You feel me? But yeah, I do definitely remember that segment. I don't know if they still do it because I have not watched the news in years, but definitely remember it.
So one of our similarities is plants. So right now, I know you work at a farm. So what got you into working at a farm? I myself, I love, love, love plants. Actually, comic book character Poison Ivy from Batman got me into loving plants. And I secretly love plants more than I love people. But what got you into wanting to work with nature and dealing with animals and just working on a farm?
Yes, I love nature. I love plants. I love anything that has anything to do with like earth, period. Um, but got me into plants. I grew up around women who always had plants and grew food and things like that in West Baltimore. Like, I mean, my grandmother and great grandmother, they're from Virginia, but since I was born and to my knowledge, they've been growing food, having plants, taking care of them, but I didn't really get the need to or the like want to get plants for myself until COVID hit. Because when I first moved into this apartment, I didn't know what to do with it. I never lived on my own before, and I never really decorated anything. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. And then when COVID came, and I was just like, plants are lively. Plants make you feel good. Plants look good. Plants provide you with clean air, all of that. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to start my plant collection now. And that's kind of how I started on that. And now I got over 25 plants in the house. As far as farming, to go back to what I said about my grandmother and my great grandmother, like I grew up eating food that they grew. Not all of their food was grown, but a lot of leafy greens and beans and things like that they grew themselves. Tomatoes, cucumbers, all of that type of stuff. So I've always like been interested in it, but I'm like, I don't know where to start. Like just last year, I was looking for like an agricultural type of job anyway, like growing trees or any way I can help the planet. Because I feel like we got to live on this planet at the end of the day. So we got to take care of it. I got into farming this summer. I actually went to the farm that I work at now. I went to that farm earlier in the year for a journalistic assignment. I was working with the journalist, and I had to go there and take photos for the journalist. And I was talking to the manager, and I was like, I'm gonna come volunteer. So I did come volunteer a couple times, but then in between there, like my uncle passed away, so I kind of wasn't really trying to do anything. But then I came back to the farm like back in July, and I volunteered. And then that last time I volunteered, and it was crazy because right before then I was working at Amazon, And I prayed for a job that is in my community, that where I can help my community out and things like that. And the last time that I volunteered, I was informed about a position that was that they were looking to fill, and I was just like, man, this is my chance. So I went and I did it, and I learned so quickly. So I'm like, I know this is like something that I'm supposed to be doing because I learned it so quickly. And I'm still learning. I'm still in training. I'm an urban farmer in training. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to take care of the earth and to be able to tend to people's food and assuring that people in neighborhoods that are food insecure get fresh food. So I really think this was like part of my purpose in life. So I'm grateful that I have this job.
So photography has something, you have to have something where pay really close attention to detail, but fast reaction time so you can hurry up and get that money shot. But growing plants and dealing with nature, you have to be patient because these plants, they take a long time to grow. So how do you balance that out, being super quick with getting a money shot and then also having that balance of patience for plants to grow and nature to bloom and things like that? How do you balance those out?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought of it that way because it is like that. It's like with photography, you definitely, but I think they have similarities. Because like photography and in photography where you have to pay attention to detail, you also have to pay attention to detail with plants and things, and you have to be patient with them. And I think you still have to have some type of patience in photography as well. Although you still are trying to achieve a certain shot and try to get that shot when you can get that shot, you still have to be kind of like patient, stealthy, all of that. But I think they have similarities, and I think that's how I'm able to balance it out because it's like with plants, you got to pay attention to patterns and when crops are going to fruit, when crops are going to do this and do that, when your plant needs water, when it got too much water, like it's. And then with photography, you got to pay attention to color, you got to pay attention to angles and lighting and all of that. So I think they kind of it's just like for me, they have a lot of similarities. That's how I'm able to easily balance those things out.
I don't mean to sexualize you, but you are a beautiful girl with nice brown skin, long locks, and you thick. So, like, do you get stereotyped as like because your locks and your love for nature? Do you get stereotyped as this soulful girl who into like Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, and just do you get stereotyped into that kind of label or category because of the things that you like and your appearance?
Yes, yes, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Just because I look, I look the part doesn't mean I am the part. Like I do. Don't get me wrong. I do like those things, but I hate being just placed in that category where it's like I meet a guy or I see a guy on the street and he looks like, oh, you got a little Jill Scott in you or Erykah Badu. You be burning sage. You be doing this. You be like it's annoying. And I'm like, yo, I'm from the hood as well, so I have different interests. Like I like plants. I like going to the park. I like lighting incense and listening to music and things like that. But I also like sitting on the porch in the hood and just kicking the shit with my fucking niggas. Like I don't know if I can say that, but I think I'm just well versed. And I appreciate the compliment as well. But I just think I'm well versed as a human being. And I am adaptable as well. Like I can adapt to any situation or anything. So one day I might be Erykah Badu or Jill Scott, and one day I might be Trinidad James. Like who knows? I don't know. But yes, it's kind of annoying that, especially with dating, getting grouped into the soul sister category all the time, where it's like, yo, like, can you think of something else? Like, I don't know.
So I'm an artist myself. I'm extremely, extremely passionate about my work and the things I produce and the things I create. But when creating those things and after you're done the creative process, you have to market those things, social media, doing pop-up shops, setting up different sales and stuff like that and coming up with prices. How does the business side affect you? Is it something that's frustrating? Is it something that you're comfortable with? Because for me, it's like I love creating a product, but once I get the product out, I got to take the pictures, post them online, come up with cool concepts, hope I'm in the algorithm, find out hashtags and the prices and stuff like that. That can be so draining for me, but how is it for you?
So for me, that process at first when I was starting out doing everything was a bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say difficult, but it just was like I feel like I wasn't really I didn't really have faith in myself as an artist when I first started thinking about prices and thinking about what I should charge people, because I was thinking like my work not that good to charge that, my work not that good to charge this and that and this and that. And then I went to school and took these classes about marketing and digital social media and all of that stuff like that. I learned a lot, but I also learned that and I took it in my own way and kind of like did my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, that's what type of person I am. I just kind of like go with my own flow, go with my own wave. I don't really be looking into algorithms and all the rhythms and all of that. I don't know. I'm just more of a simple person. So, yeah, I'll make sure my marketing is good as far as like photography, making sure I'm clear and concise with things. I'm more of a straight to the point person. So, I just keep it like that for real. But now it's much more easier for me. I think because I've established myself as an artist, as an author, working on establishing myself as a farmer, and I feel like now that I'm in that space, I create price lists or things like that, and I don't even look twice. I don't even think twice about it now. It's like my price is my price. Here it is, boom, boom, boom. Social media is like, okay, this is happening, that is happening. If you like me, then come. If you don't, then come. If you don't want to come, then don't come. Things like that. I don't really try to stress myself out about support and things like that. I just feel like, what's meant to be will be type of
Do
person.
you feel pressure to be a role model or body positive for other people? Like for me, it's just so hard. Like even now during this interview, I have to make sure with every segment it's in a flattering angle, make sure I look okay, fixing the clothes and stuff like that. Do you feel that pressure with social media or just in society period to just be body positive and show confidence and stuff? Because my insecurities be really getting to me, but it's so hard to just push past them and just be myself, which I'm doing now. But again, it's just so hard. So, how do you feel with stuff like that?
When it comes to that kind of stuff, I really don't pay it much mind. Like, it's like, sure, like I'll be body positive and confident and whatever. But it's usually just for me. It's usually not for anyone else. I just really, if I didn't have to have social media, I wouldn't even have it for real, because I just think it's like, I don't know, I see it as demonic now. Like I see it as something that's very detrimental to the generation behind us is coming up, even our own generation, because we pay too much attention to other people and other people's business and other people's this and other people's that and what other people are thinking about this and that and the third, and that kind of takes us out of our focus, and I'm not interested in that. So I nowadays, and I think since I turned like 30, I really don't be paying attention to like a lot of stuff that happens in social media or anything like that, and I don't feel the pressure to even like appease anybody on it. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to bed by myself and gotta face myself. So I other people don't even matter once I get off the phone. So yeah, with that kind of thing, I don't really indulge too much in
Shae,
it.
thank you so much for doing this interview. You have always been supportive towards me. I love your work. I love the things you're doing. I can't wait to come home and we link up and just plant some some seeds together and just have fun and just relax and cut up. Maybe get some mimosas or something like that. But thank you so much for doing this interview. Let the people know where they can find you and what hot stuff you got going on.
Thank you so much for having me. Like, I think it's way overdue. I think the last time we actually talked in a publication type of realm was when you had me on your blog, and I appreciate that as well. You've always supported me too. Yes, come home, hang out with me. Yes, I'm either home or I'm in DC or somewhere at a botanical garden or something like that. So just holla at me. And as far as social media, y'all can find me on Instagram at Shae.McCoy.photos. And my other Instagram for my book is at West underscore Baltimore underscore ruins. And yeah, Instagram is probably the best place to find me and my work. Also, you can access my website, ShaeMcCoyPhotography.com. You can see all my work. You can book with me and order my book and order prints or anything you want to order from me. As far as things that I have coming up, I am part of a breast cancer exhibition in October of 2022, and I will be pairing up. I think a few artists have been paired up with breast cancer survivors, and we basically are using our area of expertise to kind of tell their stories. So that is all. But once again, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this interview. Again, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, things like that, and catch me on my next interview. Again, I'm Shamel Jones from ShamelJones.com, and you're watching Up Next.